Like, I just think that that's such like an ass pull. Like, you can't. It's as if I was like, bro, I'll give you $5, just sign this, and you signed it, and I was like, bro, I have your card now. So I'm not. Oh, bro, you should have read it. I mean, it's true, you should have read it, but that's such a fucking asshole move. You're my friend. Yeah. I'm supposed to be promoting like family and kids, and here everybody can have their dream come true. Yeah. But don't die, because then you're not getting anything from us.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to school. But don't worry, everything is cool. I'm your host, Julyssa, and of course, I am here with the boys, Steve and Brandon. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
And how y'all doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Why does he always wait for me?
I don't know. You usually jump into it.
He was trying to copy you.
I'm working on being more, what's the word? Of a giver. I'm giving you the intro. You could say how your day is first.
It's going okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, just okay. What? Didn't we have like a podcast segment where you were like, sometimes I'm just okay, and I was like, okay.
Damn.
Because sometimes Julie's in a bad mood, and she takes it out on us.
Do I look like I'm in a bad mood today?
No, I didn't say that.
No, you look like you're in a good mood, Julie. What's been making you happy today?
I don't know. I think honestly, it was weird because this past week I feel like I've been going through it. But it's mostly been because I like recently was on my period and then I got sick towards the end of that. But like, so when I'm usually on my time of the month, I usually get really, really like sad and depressed. I don't know. I think it's just my hormones. Yeah. And so like, also I'm just miserable because I'm fucking bleeding, but and then I got sick, and then just shit was like, well, because I started another job, and like I think my body's been overwhelmed, so I was overwhelmed. So then I was also just going through it because I was sick, and then yesterday I felt slightly better, but I still had like some emotions of like sadness and stuff. And I got better. I mean, I still have like a slight cough, but it's not that bad anymore. And then I don't know, today I like felt a little better. I mean, I was still tired. Grateful? I was still tired though. That's why I asked for like the coffee. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I got like a good amount of sleep, but I was like, I don't know. I think I woke up differently today I think there's something in my head that when like I'm on my period, I generally am in like this very like depressive state that like now, and I had the thought earlier today too that I was like, I feel like once I got out of it, like off my period, that like my mind switched and was more like positive. I don't know. I was like thinking about it earlier today because I generally was like, I felt better, but I think it's also because I'm not as sick anymore. But I was just like, I generally do feel better. Like I remember this whole past week, I was going through it. I was like, bro, I'm fucking sad. I was crying basically every day. Like, just because I was going through it so much. But I don't know why, like, today I woke up better. But I don't know if that has to do, like, if that has any type of correlation. But I feel like it felt like my mind was foggy where it just kept me in that negative space. But now that I'm out of it, like, my mind is a little more open and being a little more positive. I also think it's maybe because yesterday I was with like my boyfriend and we did a lot more productive stuff. Like we hung out, but we also like were doing like stuff for like work. Like we were doing it together. And then I was just doing some stuff for the podcast yesterday. So at the same time as we were like doing our like work time. So then
parallel play.
What is that?
You never heard parallel? Do you know what that is?
No. But I can assume probably.
Yeah, parallel play is supposedly this. Well, it's not supposedly. This is more of a fact. I don't know why it's supposedly.
So they say.
But it's like I think dating therapists say that there's this practice called parallel play where it's you and your partner just basically work on whatever you guys are doing together. Like you guys aren't talking or like maybe you guys are sitting next to each other, but it's just both of you guys working on something separately and just being in the same vicinity and working on something is like apparently really good for. Yeah. It comes from kids, right? Parallel play, like they're not playing with each other, but they're playing next to each other, and it has psychological benefits.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I think it was just really nice, like just because we always talk about like us doing our work stuff at home, but I think this is the first time that we did stuff like together. Like we both had our laptops and everything, so it felt very productive. Even though, like, again, I'm saying yesterday, like I wasn't doing that well in the morning until like later in the day that I felt a little better when I did do like my laundry, my work stuff, and like the podcast stuff. So I don't know. And then today I did wake like I said, like I did wake up tired, but like I don't know. I was in a different mood, but I think it's because I was going through it the past week, and then now like I felt a little better.
You felt grateful. That's good. Every time, right now when you were talking and Hope Core was playing in the background in my head, it sounds good, dude. Sometimes you just wake up and you just feel grateful. There's good days and then there's bad days and then there's medium days. Do you guys find yourself having more good days or bad days or medium days?
What's the opposite of medium?
I don't think,
is the opposite of medium smaller or bigger?
I don't even know. I don't think there is an opposite, right? Medium is Is there an opposite of medium?
What's the opposite of medium?
Large.
Extreme?
No, well, that's actually not bad.
Because then it could be extremely small or extremely big.
What is the opposite of the word medium? Yeah, extreme.
Oh shit, I was right.
Extreme is the antonym of medium. Wow, look at the brain. My kid's wicked smart, bro.
What can I say?
Wow. But we should go ahead and get to our first topic. Julie, something is happening. Some people are under attack. Who?
Her people.
I know, right? Julie, go ahead.
The emo and the goth kids are being attacked in Texas.
Why?
I think it's in Texas. So basically, there's a school in Texas that is banning all black outfits for students, citing that it's for mental health concerns.
Did you wear black in solidarity?
Actually, that wasn't intentional, but sure.
Because of mental health concerns?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear about it?
Not at all.
Yeah, so the middle school in El Paso has banned all black outfits for students in the upcoming school year, saying it is for mental health concerns. The principal wrote in a letter that wearing all black has become associated with depression and mental health issues or criminality than with a happy and healthy kid ready to learn.
What?
That's what the principal said. That's what the principal said.
It's because it's Texas. He would prefer they wear all white.
Ooh, that one's a deep cut, bro.
No,
that's a deep cut. Yeah,
no.
He reacted to it.
You were like, I thought you guys would have like ate that up.
I thought you guys would have been like, aha. He just like, ooh.
Well, because no one took it there, but you're right. I mean, you're right, but I also think like, yeah, I don't know. That's ironic. Like, I don't know. Has clothes always been associated with mental health? So what's the opposite of it? Because you know how we're talking about opposite of medium? Would be if I wore all white, so it means like my mental health is amazing.
I guess they want them to be all colorful and like.
But I thought they hate when people wear colors over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they hate the rainbow over there.
I know.
What I'm saying?
You keep doing it. Good. Keep going on it. I like it. I like where you're going. You know what's funny? You know how it's not true? Just right now, we proved it isn't true. We open the show and you're like, how's Brandon doing? He's like, I'm doing okay. And you're like, I'm doing amazing. You're wearing black and you're literally wearing all white.
Yeah.
We just disproved it in this classroom right now.
Well, technically, me and Julie kind of have the same fit on. It's just she has a black shirt and I have a white shirt.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are like,
she has black socks and I have white socks. Wow. Oh.
In a way, I'm also matching. Nah. I don't know.
You're matching Brandon with the white socks.
Is it? But like, I don't know. I don't believe it's for mental health. I don't give a shit about that.
I mean, I feel like I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I don't think their concern has ever really been mental health, and I think this is a weird excuse to say. Like,
do you think they're just being weird, or do you think it's motivated by something serious? Is it like is it like La Rosa de Guadalupe, where they're like, "Eres emo"?
Yeah.
Eres emo.
Well, I think it's very like if it's a very conservative state, no?
Yeah.
So I feel like I think they're just very much trying to dictate kind of like how kids should be dressing. That's what it kind of just seems like, and I feel like they generally don't like. I mean, like the alternative is emo and goth, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they just don't want kids to do that because it goes against their conservative values.
That's actually pretty good. So I looked up Reddit because obviously Reddit is how you get like the human perspective on this. And I looked up like why do people think that emo is being bad? And this, even though this isn't a fact, this is just someone's opinion. This is everybody was saying that this is a good explanation. In the early 2000s, calling someone emo was used as a derogatory synonym for calling them gay, feminine, emotional, depressed, weird, different, etc. All of which are now more accepted in society, but back then they were not. Being homophobic, racist, misogynist, conformist, and stigmatizing mental illness was what was popular and cool at the time. So bigots love using emo as a catch-all insult.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it kind of is what Julie's saying, that emo is kind of associated, I guess, in more conservative states.
I remember you're right.
As like a queer term.
Yeah. I never knew that.
Yeah, dude, me neither. There's finding this out.
I remember as a kid, I remember emo being like not like a positive term, but I don't remember it being stat negative. I just didn't know. I believe them. I just didn't know. I thought it was more like, they're just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it says, this user goes on to say, much like how the term queer was formerly used as a homophobic slur, its meaning changed over time and was reclaimed with pride by those who identified with it, causing the negative connotation it used to have to lose power. Which is why nowadays, emo just means someone looks alternative, is sad, or referencing a specific era of subculture and music. That's so interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, because if you look at shows or movies, you know how it's always that trope where it's like, oh, that's the emo weird girl, and it's just like a normal girl, but she's just wearing all black.
Yeah.
Like in the Fairly Odd Parents, what's the girl that likes Timmy?
Trixie? No, that's
the one that's like obsessed with him.
The one with the glasses. No?
Yeah, but you know how she always and then
Yeah.
Danny Phantom, the one that
yeah.
she's like that,
Gwen,
you know,
Gwen?
all that shit.
I think it's Gwen. Yeah.
And then like in the show, it's supposed to be like, oh, they're such freaks, like, you know.
Yeah, like look at them in their weird music.
Yeah, you know. So.
But it's weird because I feel like everybody nowadays, like what fashion is like into, is kind of what like 2000s emo was.
It's what happens, I guess. Happens with everything, no?
Right. What people used to get made fun of now is like what people really wear, like the designer like sparkly belts and like the oversized like jeans. First of all, the denim in itself, I feel like a lot of emo kind of sparked that, and then all the piercings and stuff. Like you see people with like the long hair with like kind of like more alternative like messy hair. That was such like an emo look, but now it's what's in. I was reading a little bit more of the article that you're talking about. It says that we are eliminating. So this is what I guess the staff said. We are eliminating a look that has taken over on campus with students wearing black tops with black bottoms, which has become more associated with depression and mental health issues and or criminality than with happy and healthy kids ready to learn.
Criminality? What do they mean by that?
That's kind of Is that
I don't know.
A microaggression?
What kind of school is this?
Yeah, is it like a Catholic school?
It says the Texas school bans all outfits in El Paso Middle School.
But I want to know, like, is
school?
it mostly like, you know how there's schools where they're predominantly like a lot more white kids, or there's a school that's predominantly a lot more Latino kids?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what kind of school this demographic
places?
has.
Let me
like,
see
what's their
it.
demographic?
I'll look them up. Charles Middle School.
But also like it's a middle school, so like it's crazy that like they're doing this to like kids. Like it's not like a high school, it's a middle school. Like they're very very young, you know.
Yeah, it's going based off pictures. There's a good amount of diversity. Just going based off pictures.
Seems like, I don't know, schools be doing that. They always do too much. Do you remember our high school? They were always like, no sweaters with logos, even if it was like tiny.
Do you remember? Our school had an emo scare too.
You could wear like something, but it always had to be a college, no? Yeah.
And then that's how I was like, is it also a Catholic school? Because remember how weird our Catholic school was with Halloween? How they're
no mask, but I think that's everywhere. No mask.
No mask, no weapons. That's
reasonable.
I
remember in like first grade, I was like a pirate and I had a hook, but it was made of foam, and they got mad at me. They were like, "That's a weapon." And I was like,
I think I remember that.
I was like, "Yeah, really?"
I think I actually remember that. Yeah, it looks like it's an independent school. It says right there, independent school district. No, dude, there's no religion.
Schools are always weird.
We can't blame
they do too much. They swear that
the church in this one.
They swear schools swear they know everything.
I mean, I guess they're trying to protect kids. I think for us adults, No. I still disagree with them banning like the black clothing.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's that serious because it's just expression, right?
Yeah.
So I still disagree with that. Like I don't think inherently
Mm.
anything in
Yeah.
any
Mhm.
form of media like outside attention really affects kids like to that degree where it affects their mental illness.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys wear
I-
black when you guys feel more depressed? No, go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, I was like, I just feel like them just saying like what kids should wear is just like for sure it's really weird, but it's also like, but then are you guys saying that you guys are gonna do more mental health programs for them? Because it's like if you guys are really concerned about like mental health and like just like depression and all these, and you guys are saying that you guys are very well aware that this is going on with the kids. So then does that mean you guys are gonna start doing a lot more like mental health programs? Like are you guys gonna have like more sessions with them to talk to them? Because if this is generally a concern that they have, then I feel like they should invest more in having those types of classes for them.
Yeah.
But there's not
yeah.
there's not that talk. The talk is just mostly all like we're trying to take them away from that. But it's like, but then what's the next step then? If you guys want to do that,
It feels like this is the least they could do, and so they rather choose to do the least than do the most. No, and that's the way I see it, because it's like we have to take mental health seriously. I assume this is what the staff's thinking. We have to take it seriously. What's something we could do that people will see, and then like.
I don't know. I feel like it seems kind of dumb. It reminds me of Footloose when they're like, "It's dancing. It's what's making them." It seems like the principal's like, "It's the all black clothes."
What kind of Footloose ass policy
I
is
know,
this?
like what a fucking stupid.
We're banning.
Seems pretty dumb.
What's something else that they could have done that's like on par with this?
They could have just got another counselor.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but I mean, like, with something ridiculous, like something silly.
It's like when they're like, "Oh no, don't play that type of music. Like we're banning rock music here or some shit." Like,
it really is.
yeah, like it seems kind of stupid.
They're living in a fucking 80s coming of age movie.
Yeah, it seems like the principal has like a personal thing going on with whatever he's banning. He's
yeah,
taking that on everybody else.
And an emo girl hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or his daughter's like emo, and he's like, "I don't like that," so everybody's got to suffer.
Or when he was a teenager.
Or he's emo and he never got to
exactly.
He's a hater.
Yeah, I think so. He's just projecting his shit. Let's see, what else did they quote from this? What they are not allowing for students to wear clothing that is black from top to bottom. De La Rosa explained to local news outlets they can wear black shorts to go to PE, and they can wear it on free dress day, but they cannot wear it from top to bottom. Also, they can't be dressed in all black.
What if I have a black shirt, very dark denim, but it's dark blue? And
this is how I know. But if we went to school there, he'd be arguing with the fucking teacher. You were just telling about the hook. You'd be like, I'm gonna tell my parents.
This is denim. This is blue denim, bro.
You will be hearing from my parents.
Yeah.
However, parents have been pushing back, saying that banning clothes. Is this what you're gonna read, Julie? I'll let you. I don't mean to steal your fire.
It was
Go ahead.
I was just reading that too.
Go ahead.
Where it was like the parents were like, the color of clothing has nothing to do with your ability to do anything or feel any emotion. Making students wear a different color isn't going to magically make them a completely different person.
like no shit.
Well, because you know how you asked like, oh, do you wear like black
when you're feeling sad?
Because you're feeling sad. I feel like there's some people who do associate their clothing with the way that they feel. Because I do feel like your clothing is a way to express yourself. I personally feel like when I was younger, maybe, but I think it's just because it's a lot easier to just grab and like
black goes with everything.
Black what goes with everything, you know.
True.
I feel like at a younger age, it's especially like you don't really care that much about how you dress yourself, so you're kind of just like, I'm gonna just wear this.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there are kids who wear it because that's how they're feeling. But I don't think. But I feel like also
banning it is just I think that if they're dressing to express their emotion, banning an expression of their emotion is doing worse for mental health than actually helping it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? It's like, just repress your feelings, man.
What if some kid what if some kid just has all black stuff?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know? What if he's like, I just like black clothes, man.
Yeah. It's my favorite color.
Yeah. I feel like I look good.
Yeah, but we're just saying, like, if it was correlated, let's say a kid was feeling like, I'm sad, let me dress in all black. They're basically just telling them, like, no. You repress those feelings.
Well, that's proof then.
You
right?
don't express
That's
them.
proof then, right? They didn't spend all that much time thinking about it.
Yeah.
They were probably. I'm telling you, the guy was just emo, and he never got to be.
He's mad.
Yeah, like this parent dropped the bar. If kids are actually struggling, they need help, not different outfits. That's what.
Yeah.
Well said.
And then that's a good place to leave it off on.
Okay, what's next?
Next,
What we got next?
is, did you guys hear about the social security numbers leaked?
Yes, I did.
I did see a post about it recently.
Who didn't, dude? Who didn't hear about it, dude? Apparently, most of the United States got their fucking social security leaked.
What was it like? How many? Like
It's
2 billion.
It's 2.9 billion records,
Damn.
So
including
basically 3
social
billion.
security numbers stolen in data hack.
Mm.
How you would think that's like the most secure thing in America?
Yeah, right. I get you.
Who's in charge, bro? Who's in charge? Why do we even? Why did we even give
2.9
this guy a
billion?
job?
How does that even work?
Let's see. Do you want me to read some of the article?
Sure.
An enormous amount of social security numbers and other sensitive information for millions of people could be in the hands of hacking group after a data breach and may have been released on the online marketplace. The Los Angeles Times reported this week. The hacking group USDOD claimed it had allegedly stolen personal records of 2.9 billion people from national public data, according to a class action lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Damn.
Reported by Bloomberg Law. The breach was believed to have happened in or around April 2024. Damn, so it's been out for a while. According to the lawsuit, according to the lawsuit, it meant like that's a statement. According to the lawsuit, what information is included in the data breach? The class action lawsuit firm Schubert Jonquiel, yeah, probably, said in a press release that the stolen file included 277.1 gigabytes of data, including names, addresses, histories, relatives, social security numbers dating back at least 3 decades. What do you guys think? What's the danger of having like your social security number leaked? Like, what's
Well,
Can't they steal
isn't
your
it-
identity?
Yeah, they steal your identity.
but
no?
of everyone?
I'm assuming
He can't get us all.
but I'm assuming they just sell like certain people's like social, like, you know, like there's
I
people
get
who
you.
would buy it. Because don't they do that? I thought that's why companies sell your data.
Like, that's like the black market.
Yeah, like they could just sell it. But wait, they're in a lawsuit, so they caught him?
Yeah, okay. So according to a post from a cybersecurity expert on X, formerly Twitter, USDOD claims to be selling the 2.9 billion records for citizens of the US, UK, and Canada on the dark web for $3.5 million.
That's it.
Yeah, that's for 2.9 billion. That's like a good chunk of humanity.
Another thing that got me was you said it was only on 200 gigabytes. Yeah, I thought it would be like at least a terabyte, right?
I guess because like it's just like words, like it's
Isn't
just
that
lettering.
crazy though? 2.9 billion though on
Yeah.
that amount. Nah, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know. You're right, because like, dude, some of our files for this podcast are bigger than that.
Yeah,
What the fuck? I know that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Since the information was posted for sale in April, others have released different copies of the data, according to the cybersecurity and technology news sites Bleeping Computer. A hacker known as Fennis leaked the most complete version of the data for free on a forum. August, bruh, it's free. Bro, what are we doing?
Yeah, where's the love of the game, man? You know, he just wants to watch the world burn, I guess.
Bruh.
He thinks he's the Joker.
For the love of the
Nah,
game.
I shouldn't say anything because he'll probably get my.
Oh, he's probably watching.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you think he has?
Don't get me.
I'm sorry, man.
No, honestly, that's real shit. Because if he can get our social security numbers, he probably has an algorithm where it's like
Yeah.
anybody who mentions me, like
Mm.
send it to
Like,
me. Like,
well, yeah,
it tells like an AI, right?
yeah.
Like just search the internet for anytime they
Revenge.
mention me.
You know, I kind of like on a side note.
Yeah.
One thing I've never like understood, or not. I mean, yeah, I think I just don't understand it. Like, and I don't mean like I don't get it. Like, oh, I have a problem with it. I mean, like I just genuinely don't get it. Whenever something like happens, what's that hacker group? It's like, but they're like supposed to be good.
Anonymous?
Yeah. I don't know. Do they do?
Do they ever do anything?
Do they do anything? I saw somebody say like they mostly just leak like pedophiles and stuff. Like,
But
I-
people do that on Twitch for free.
but I think like I don't know. I think what always gets me or makes me laugh a little bit. No disrespect, Anonymous. Like I respect the hustle. I guess is whenever I remember one time Trump did something and the guy like came out and he was like, Trump, you'll pay for this. Or whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
And then but like did he like
Nothing ever happened.
what did he
Maybe
do?
he was the one who sent the sniper on
do you
his
think?
speech.
Do you think he works with like the FBI, or isn't it a group?
It's
Isn't
a group, yeah. They're kind of anonymous because anybody can wear the mask.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you follow them?
I know of their mythos.
How come anonymous? That's my question, I guess. Is how come the guys like that don't go off it? Because this guy sounds like
fight
this
him?
guy sounds like insane. Can anonymous? You think anonymous can do this?
Fennis versus Anonymous, the
Yeah.
battle of the century.
Yeah, like Batman and the Joker. Or do you think they know about each other? And he's like, they're
Yeah,
trying
bro.
to get-
Anonymous is probably like in his bat cave, like looking at the monitors.
Well,
like
anonymous is like a group, though, right? So that's kind of like the Justice
but like
League.
the leader, you know.
Do you think
like,
there's one of them who's like really good? Like that's like their best guy.
Yeah,
Probably.
he's
And
sitting
he-
at his
and-
computer,
and he's the
just
Batman?
brooding,
Do you
thinking.
like that's what I always think about. Like, do these guys ever?
It's because, bro, there's been hundreds of wars fought under your nose that you've never noticed.
Because that when I was a kid, because Anonymous has been around for a good minute, right?
Yeah, since
When
we were
I
like
was
kids,
When I was a kid, I thought they would I don't know, I don't
save
know.
the world someday.
Something like that. Like I don't know, they would hack nuclear codes and so that they couldn't use them or something. But I guess not.
Dude, they never do anything. Why do we even have them around? The most I remember them ever doing something is so fucking hilarious. It was this time where I think it was like around the Trump getting like kicked out of the presidency when he tried to overthrow the government, and fucking Anonymous was like, we'll be right there,
Yeah.
and all they did was crash like the government's like website, and that's it. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember another thing they did was when they killed Harambe. They did a statement and they're
What?
like, you don't remember that?
No, is that real? I need to look it up.
When they did that, they're like, a gorilla has been slaughtered, and they leaked. I think they leaked like the mom's like address or something because they're like, you didn't take care of your kid.
What the fuck? It's wait. Let me read this headline. Anonymous sends a horrifying message to the family of boy who fell into gorilla enclosure.
Read their quote, yeah.
This was an accident, a terrible accident. But just that, none of us actually thought he'd go over the nearly. No, this is the mom. This is the mom.
Oh,
Let me see. I want to see what it is.
I remember.
Oh,
the
yeah,
video.
here it is. Here it is. In a video released online, an activist from the collective says, "Dear citizens of the world, as you may have..." No, you're a better voice actor. Read this as
sorry.
if you were anonymous.
Dear citizens of the world, as you may have heard, an endangered silverback gorilla, Harambe, was killed this week after a woman, Michelle Gregg, neglected to supervise her children. We do not see Michelle Gregg as a fit parent. We are calling on an investigation of Michelle Gregg and the zoo. We believe that she should be charged in the death of an endangered animal. We are encouraging every single able-bodied person watching this video to participate. Hashtag OP Harambe Engage. Oh, I'm guessing Operation Harambe.
Bro, what the fuck? I could do this.
You don't remember? I remember when it came out. I think like World Star posted it because you know how they're always like he's always like
Yeah.
that, like going like that,
Uh-huh.
and he had the voice on. I think they leaked
Yeah.
like her
Bro, bro,
address.
bro, bro.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I just feel it's fun. I could have done that.
So
I don't need an anonymous
what
mask
are
for
they
that.
about?
That's
Like, are
what
they
I-
for citizens?
no, that's
like,
what I
are
mean. That's what I
they-
mean when I'm like I don't get it.
I'm gonna look it
like,
up.
I don't understand.
He's about to leak something from us, bro.
No, I'm not calling him out. Like I'm not saying like
I am calling him out.
I'm saying
Yeah.
more like I just don't understand. Like I don't understand anything about hacking, so I don't understand what their capabilities are.
Bro, this
Okay.
reminds me. Have I
What?
ever told you? Have
The
I ever
day
told
you
you
met
about
Anonymous?
the story about when the cops called me?
The cops? No.
No. So I was at work. And this was in
It's like a
this
few
is
months
in
ago. no?
June. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is in
Oh,
June.
really?
Yeah. And I was at work, and then I got a call, and it was from 818, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, who's calling me? But I was at work, so I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna answer. And then I like went back to like working or whatever, and then they call me again, and I'm like, who keeps calling me? And it was the same number, and they kept calling me. And then I told my boss, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go take this phone call because they keep calling me. And then I answered, and then I was like, hello, and they were like, hi, is this Julyssa? And I was like, yes. And then they were like, this is the Glendale Police Department. And I was and in my head I was like, bruh, Steve got arrested.
Yeah, I don't know why she thought I got
because
arrested.
I was like maybe he was at the gym
Yeah.
and some shit happened.
Something happened. I got
And
arrested.
then he
Yeah.
got arrested. Like he got into a fight or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
or
I think
like,
our parents weren't even in the country, right?
yeah, I
it's
think
just you and
I
me.
think this when they were in Mexico.
Oh.
And then or I thought like I don't know, I thought maybe he got into an accident or something and like the cops were calling
Yeah.
me.
That was a bit
And
so
I was
crazy.
like, bruh, I was ready to fucking like
Tear
hear,
up, sob.
yeah, start sobbing, bro. And then they were like, we're calling because we just caught this guy and he has your mail. And I was like, what? They were like, yeah, like, is your address? And then he like gave me my address. And he's like, is this your address? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, we just arrested this guy and he has like your stuff. Like, I think he was like, does he have a right to have this stuff like with him, like on him?
Yeah.
And then he gave me his name. And I was like, I have no idea who that is. And then he's like, oh, well, are you fine if like we arrest him like for stealing all these things? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, do you want the mail back? Do you want the letter back? And I was like, well, what is it? And then he's like, well, I can't open it, but from what it looks like it's a credit card like thing where you like open up a credit card.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, well, because he's like, I can arrest him. And then I was like, yeah. In my head, I was like, put that fool in jail, bro. And then he was like, do you want to pick this up or do you want us to like put it in as evidence? And I was like, y'all can keep it. Like, I don't think I really need it. Because then I think he told me the bank and I was like, I don't even use that bank.
Yeah.
And so I was like, he's like, we can put it in for evidence. And I was like, yeah, you guys can keep it. And then he was like, all right. But I remember I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Dude, that's so crazy. I remember when I found out about it because I think the next day, because it happened to you and then I didn't see you.
Okay, that was the other weird part.
I didn't see her, but I went with my brother because he wanted to take my nephew to the Natural History Museum. So I went with him and he's like, dude, did you hear about Julie? And I was like, no, what happened? It was like, dude, the cops called her. Apparently, like, some guy had stolen like her information and was trying to open like a credit card. And I was like, what? Are you serious? And he's like, yeah, they called me. They called my brother first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they called my brother. I don't know how they got his number, but they called him. And they were like, dude, you know what's funny? You know what my brother said he thought? He thought that my sister had gotten arrested. Tells you about our siblings. He was like, no way, Julie got fucking arrested. But they were like Glendale police. And it's like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'll just give you her number and you can call her. And then that's how they got Julie's number. And then it was so funny because my brother's like, Julie said to lock him up and throw away the key.
Yeah. I was like, lock him up. No,
that's great. Scary,
but what was weird, for sure what was weird was the fact that how is it that they got my brother's like number? And then the getting my phone number, he gave it to them. But like where's the association of like my name and like my address to like my brother? Because I would think it's like to my dad, that's for sure. Yeah. But like to my brother, that was kind of,
I think
I don't know.
Maybe it trickled down.
They probably have records on everybody.
Yeah. But
maybe it trickled down because maybe it was like, since our parents were out of the country, they tried to call them and they couldn't reach them. They're like, all right, second oldest in the family not the second oldest in the family is our brother. So they were like, all right, let's call him. And then, dude, my brother said he was so mind fucked. He's like, what the fuck?
How'd they get your number?
Yeah, like, well, he was just like, the police called. You know, the police is calling you. Like, what do you, like, what the fuck? Like, what would you think? It's like, imagine the police called you and they're like, do you know, I'm not going to say your sister's name. Yeah. Do you know?
I probably think she got arrested.
Yeah, right?
Like, what happened?
Yeah, well, because it was weird. Because it was funny because then after the phone call and everything, my brother texted me and he's like, I forgot what he said. He was like, bruh, why the cops calling?
Dude, my brother's funny, dude. But it's just so funny that chain of like, the police call my brother, oh my God, Julie's been arrested. Then the police calls it Julie, oh my God, Steve's been arrested. Like, we just assume
well, because he calls me Flax, right? Yeah. So he's like, what's up, Flax? The Fed's looking for you.
I know, dude.
That's what he said. And then, he was like, the cops from Glendale called me that someone was arrested and they had your information. I don't know how somehow. He's like, I don't know. Somehow they had my number and called me. I gave them your number and they're going to call you.
On some Breaking Bad shit, dude.
But yeah, bro, it was crazy.
Wow.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
And then he was like... And then I said something about like the bank and all that, and he's like, "Damn, they were trying to steal your identity." Dude, and then he sent me the gift from The Office. Identity theft, it's not a joke, Jim. Millions of families suffer every year.
That guy isn't tampering with the mail like a federal crime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
pretty
he's
sure.
probably-
He's
Which
probably
is
in
why I
prison.
think they were like
Yeah.
they were like he was caught doing
Yeah.
I don't know what, and
Yeah.
I think they found like all those things.
Yeah,
So that's
he's
why they
probably-
were like,
He's probably in
"Do
prison.
you want us to arrest him?" And I was like, "Yeah." In my head, I was like, "Put that guy in jail." bro."
I wonder
And
like
then-
how it happened though, because I mean, for them to arrest him, he either
He's done it
triggered it.
before.
Well, he either triggered it by like, they probably have like defense systems where if you're trying to register like a credit card or see someone's
Well, they
identity,
said it wasn't open.
but he was at the mall. Is that what it was? He was-
yeah, I think he was at the mall.
Maybe he was. They saw him stealing from the like bins, or
And
something.
his dumbass had all his like stolen receipts on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
yeah, it was weird. It was
Yeah.
weird though.
Wild.
yeah.
It was weird, but at the same time, I was kind of like, well, I mean, they caught the guy, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Probably in prison
I-
now.
yeah.
I would. You know what would have creeped me out? The part where they read your address to you. I was like, oh, so you guys aren't
You guys are
joking.
actually the
yeah.
Well, cause at first, because I usually get a lot of phone calls, and
Yeah.
they've always just been really weird, which
Like-
is why like I don't answer if I don't
Uh-huh.
know them.
Yeah.
For my brother, he said that I think Glendale police actually popped up on his phone,
Mm.
but for me it didn't. It just said like
Mm.
818 and then like the phone number, but it didn't say anything else. And I was just like, oh, it's just like
Yeah.
a scam or something. Even though like if it's a known like area code, I would answer it, but at that moment I was like, I don't want to answer it. And
Yeah.
if it's something important, they'll leave me a voicemail. But they didn't. They kept calling me, and then that's when I was like, I need to answer this phone call because they keep calling me, and so then that's when I answered it, and then it was just weird because it was like to hear like this is the Glendale Police
Yeah.
Department.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what?
Yeah, I would have thought I was in trouble or something.
Yeah, I was like, what
the
did
fuck
I do?
I bet you for a second you were thinking like, what have I been up to? Like, did I do something?
They caught you running a light.
I know.
I
They're
don't,
like, you haven't paid your tickets.
dude, I would have been shitting myself. I don't know why. I would have just been so nervous of like, what the fuck is this about? But yeah, I guess that goes along with this
People
part.
stealing.
Yeah, dude, that's what happens when your shit gets leaked.
But that's crazy though. Like,
How did he get it?
yeah.
How did
Well,
he get
that
it?
and the Social Security, because like
Yeah.
Social Security is even crazier.
Yeah, and it's just online. Some guy released it for
But
free.
that's why I'm like, that's why I don't know. That's why I bring up Anonymous, because I'm like, if they can do this, what can Anonymous do?
Maybe they can. They should release the Epstein list.
That's what I thought they could do, right? I genuinely thought they'd be able to do that kind
Right.
of stuff, right?
Right. But I guess not, bro.
But I guess the best hackers work for the government.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
right? They're like,
Yeah.
nah, we need you, right?
They say that most people who are like high in the criminal organization are ex-military.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Uh.
that's like the rumor of like, you know how there's like supposedly like mercenaries and stuff.
Uh,
Yeah, they say that they're mainly ex-military.
So they know, like,
So basically,
Business.
like criminal organizations versus like the feds,
It's
it's
bas-
basically
they-
just the
they know
government
each
fighting
other,
itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As I
So
said,
this
I'm
guy's
about to get
prob-
assassinated.
So this
dude.
guy's probably whoever did this probably worked for a
Probably, yeah.
government.
Yeah, that's why they're so good at it. That's how they know.
Ah.
They probably worked high in like CIA and stuff.
So can you look up like Anonymous's greatest accolade?
Okay, anonymous greatest. I'm gonna look up things.
Because the
Anonymous
Harami
did.
thing, when I saw that, I was like, I mean, I feel bad for the gorilla, but I don't know about harassing the mom. You know, I don't know, right? Because the kid lives there too.
timeline.
Yeah.
Which one should I trust more, Complex or Wikipedia?
Doesn't
Ah,
Wikipedia?
these-
Isn't it fake that they don't check their information?
No,
That they-
apparently it's pretty good. Yeah.
So let's try
apparently.
Wikipedia.
Okay. Timeline of events associated with Anonymous. This article has multiple issues. Please help improve it. Discuss these issues on time. This article may require cleanup.
Yeah.
This article may be too long to read and navigate comfortably. Oh, wow. Okay. In 2007, radio host Hal Turner sued several online groups alleging Anonymous posted unauthorized copies of his radio shows online, attacked his server, and to make it unavailable and place unauthorized orders for goods, services, and merchandise from third parties in his name. The case was dismissed in December for lack of response. So they messed with some random dude named Hal Turner, and they bought a bunch of merch in his name. Ooh, aren't you afraid, bro, of Anonymous? December, a man was arrested in Toronto on charges of luring a child under the age of 14, attempting to invite sexual touching, attempted exposure, and other charges. Police stated that Anonymous, a cyber vigilante group which trolls for pedophiles and then outs them, had targeted the suspect before law enforcement was involved and cautioned that such interference could impede official investigations.
So they mostly, I see like their biggest accolades is usually like they just get pedophiles arrested, which I guess is good, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could
yeah.
do an interview with them and ask them like, what like off camera, what can you guys like for real do? Right.
Okay, so look, I'll fast read. I'll summarize these ones. In January 14, 2008, they declared war on the Church of Scientology, and then they did DDoS attacks, which include harassing, phone calls, black faxes, and Google bombing.
Google bombing? Google, what's that? I don't
Let's
know
see.
what that is.
Google bombing is a term refers to the practice of causing a website to rank highly in web search engine results for irrelevant, unrelated, or on off topic. Also, it just takes them away from like you can't Google or you can Google them or something.
That's funny.
Black faxes is refers to a prank fax transmission. So they're just pranksters.
They just inconvenience people.
Let me see. I'm gonna look up what's the craziest thing they've ever done. And I'm gonna do the top 3.
I think because they're vigilantes, they have rules. They can't do anything too crazy. You know what I mean?
Wait, what? YouTube Porn Day. In response to YouTube suspending the account of an anonymous member who uploaded music videos to his channel, Anonymous encouraged all of its users to create fake user accounts, create videos containing a mixture of porn and safe for work images, and upload it to YouTube under friendly names. Dude, this just feels like they're just doing pranks. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, okay, number one thing they've done, Operation Sony. Remember when a different Sony website was getting hacked every week, or when the PlayStation Network was shut down for what it seemed for the second half of the NBA season? That all started with an attack by Anonymous on April 2nd, after Sony decided to take George Hotz to court for creating disturbing software that allowed PlayStation owners to run homemade softwares on their consoles. Anonymous launched hashtag OP Sony and took down the PlayStation Network. The rest, as we saw, was history. I don't know. I'm trying to hear like they exposed George Bush did 9/11. You know, like
I guess they. I don't think they can. I'm not saying they can't. Like they don't have the capability or know-how. But I think the stakes are too high. You know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah,
Like,
but I don't know. I guess I was wishing if our reality can have bad guys.
No, I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, well, at least Anonymous is out there. Like, you know?
That's why, like, that's so sad, man. And life isn't like a fairy tale because our reality has fucking bad guys.
They have really bad guys. We don't have really good guys.
We don't have really good guys. We don't have a Batman out there.
Maybe one day, man. You never know.
Maybe, yeah. All right, well, moving on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Monkeypox. Have you guys heard about monkeypox?
What is monkeypox?
It's a disease where you basically, dude, it's kind of a, dude, it's making me
Is it like
uncomfortable.
chickenpox?
Yeah, kind of. You get like these spots around your body, and they're like super black. Dude, I'm literally getting like uncomfortable.
Oh, they're black?
Yeah, they're really bad. Like they look really bad. I hate like circles. Like I get like triphobia.
How's it spread?
Through contact. So like through.
If you touch them.
Yeah, through you could either get it through contact or like shared of like saliva and stuff. Yeah. So it says World Health Organization Director General declares monkeypox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. But yeah, I think there's already 2 vaccines though.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
The 2 vaccines currently in use for monkeypox are recommended for World Health Organization strategic advisory group of experts on immunization and are also approved by World Health Organization listed national regulatory authorities.
That's good.
Would you guys be mad if we had another lockdown?
I don't know that I'd be personally mad, but I could see a lot of people being very negatively affected by that.
Julie, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't really mind it either.
I'm an introvert, man, so I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, you guys are both introverts.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd cry. I'd cry every day. I don't think I'd be ready. I think I would.
I'd be like, wow, we're back.
Yeah, a lot of people really loved the lockdown. I didn't. I wasn't the biggest fan.
I think people romanticize the
Yeah.
lockdown. I don't.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cool as when.
It wasn't as cool if you're struggling.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dude, it was so fucking boring sometimes. Some days just blurred into each other. 1 week was like one day. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like time didn't exist anymore.
You know what's funny is that I recently was going through like my old videos. I think on Snapchat or something. And a lot of my videos, I think from like 2020, like this time around in 2020. And I think we were all like hanging out in the backyard. And I always think about how crazy that was, that like you would legit just come over like in the middle of the night and we'd all just be hanging out.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's not like we had anything to do.
Well, yeah, but I just thought it was like crazy that we would do that like at night, and then we would just be getting high.
That's the origin of this. That's how this started, technically.
I remember thinking that it was never gonna end. Like not weirdly enough, not even in a negative way. Like it was more of just like, damn, I guess it's just life now. Like I guess
the
it's
new normal.
Yeah, I guess it's just how we're gonna be now. Like I remember thinking like, damn.
I thought masks were never gonna go away. I
Mm.
thought.
It's not funny. It went away so fast.
Well, I mean, did it ever catch on? Honestly, because I feel like.
I mean, a lot of people did fight on it.
I still see some people wear it.
I just thought it was gonna be like more people would like, not everybody, but like 1/3 of people were gonna still kind of keep it on, because I thought it was gonna be a perpetual like, not that COVID was like, I just thought COVID was always gonna be like this, kind of like the flu, where it's just always around, but it's probably a lot worse than the flu. So people, they would be like, for your safety, just kind of always have that shit on.
I get you, yeah.
And some people be like, nah, I got the vaccine, but some people like, nah, I kind of don't want that. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think people were just sick, dude. Sick, not literally, but they were sick of the mask.
I don't know. I don't get at all why people had a huge problem with it.
Yeah.
For me, I always go back to it. For me, they didn't build a mask for my face. They didn't build a proper mask for my nose. And even when I got sick,
Not
like a
even
week
the
ago,
cloth ones?
dude, the cloth ones were not bad, but it was always too strong on my nose, and it would always hurt because it would push down.
I like the cloth ones. The ones that those
The homemade ones.
No. They had ones that were just straight up cloth that you could wash, and they had elastic.
But were those as effective?
Yeah, remember the study came out that I don't think they were as effective as the medical grade ones, but you could use them. But the thing was, remember in the beginning of the pandemic, like when they started saying to wear masks, they said that they weren't effective. And so then that's why people were like, nah, fuck you. You said it wasn't effective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
What do you guys think about that take of going more into the monkeypox? What do you guys think of that take that supposedly people would take this pandemic more seriously because it affects your outer appearance, and humans are naturally narcissistic and care about their appearance?
probably. Probably.
You think so? You think people would take it more seriously? Have you seen the pictures of people with monkeypox? Disgusting, dude. This isn't me like I don't know, hating on them. I just mean it looks bad, dude. It's just like you're covered in black spots. You're covered in like crusty black spots. They're fucking huge, and they look painful and they look unpleasant, dude. And I think the mortality rate is a lot higher.
For sure, we will take it more seriously.
Yeah.
But look, Sweden confirms a case of monkeypox, the first reported infection of the strain outside of Africa. The announcement came the day after the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a global public health emergency. So it's spreading, but
So it's here already though?
I don't think it's
in the UK.
Is it in? It might. Let me see. There might be some actually.
Do you remember when Ebola was a huge? I mean, it's probably still is. But do you
Yeah.
remember when there's somebody on a plane? I remember there's somebody on a plane who had it, and they they did the Monsters Inc. thing around the plane.
But yeah. No, it's not in the United States yet. I also think diseases. Well, not I think. I'm not a scientist. I've read that diseases that have higher mortality rates are usually harder to spread because
they died before
they basically die before they can spread it. Yeah. So I think it's probably all the people think who this is gonna be like a new lockdown. It's probably just fear mongering or like paranoia. And I understand.
I do believe that I'm a conspiracy guy. That there is gonna be something worse one day,
But not anytime soon.
It could be the fucking, what do they do? It's a lot of people say it's two things. It's because we abuse antibiotics. Like back in the day, I mean, still now antibiotics were like a miracle cure, but people don't use them right. So when people don't take them fully, like because when a doctor gives you like antibiotics, they'll say like, "Oh, I'll finish this," but I think like 3 days in, people will feel better.
Yeah,
they'll just be like, fuck it, I don't need it. But you shouldn't do that because it doesn't fully kill whatever you're trying, the bacteria, whatever you're trying to kill. So you're building an immunity in that bacteria. So a lot of doctors will constantly warn and say like, because we're building such an immunity, eventually we're going to get a bug that is completely immune to antibiotics. And that's really scary.
Yeah.
And I think another thing too is, well, this is what happened with COVID, right? Farming in the United States. I think a lot of the animals are sick. So we shoot them up with antibiotics like 24/7. And that's another like, well, one of the animals is going to get something that's, because it's like kind of like a breeding ground for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with COVID, right? Like it was in the market where it was really unsanitary.
So that's what they say, yeah. What was I going to say? Did you hear that globally, like birth rates are going down? There's like a downward trend that's happening right now. Do you think that like combined with if there is another pandemic would be an insane reset of humanity?
I think there's probably always going to be something that could really reset people. But I think to put people to extinction is going to be extremely hard.
Yeah.
I don't think unless it's something like a fucking meteor. Like I don't think
Or an earthquake, the big one.
I don't think that could ever put people at extinction though.
No, yeah. People are probably going to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot of people.
I remember I saw this thing about, I don't know how long ago, something ADs, or BC maybe. There's this huge volcanic eruption, like enormous, that people bring up all the time when we talk about nuclear wars. Because I think that's the only frame of reference we have. That's obviously they're different things, but that's the only other big explosion in history that we have. I think it wiped out like 95%, something like that. But people still recovered. So
yeah,
you know.
it shows we're resilient.
Yeah,
The indomitable human spirit.
Hopefully.
You know what I mean?
Or maybe this will be like in a movie where they play this talking over, like, you know,
Or those edits.
Like in Planet of the Apes when it's like, oh my god, it's the disease is spreading.
Or have you guys ever heard of this old show called Dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs?
Yeah, it's like this show where they have puppets. They're like dinosaurs. It's like a real.
Oh, and it ends with them dying.
Mm-hmm. There's like this famous quote from the show where it's like, dinosaurs have been around for millions of years. We're not just all just gonna disappear.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what happens. So it's like one of those moments.
Yeah.
Because I know you love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our next topic. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the subway emergency meeting because that one's just funny.
Yeah.
Did you hear about it? Well, okay, we'll do a quick one.
Brief, yeah. What is it?
A brief one is just Subway apparently today announced that they're having an emergency meeting to discuss the rapidly falling sales.
Well, I mean, fuck yeah. They had the guy who was a pedophile. Like that's a hard recovery, right?
Yeah.
And then their $5 foot long isn't even $5 or a foot.
Yeah. Or a foot?
Yeah. You ever see people measure it? It's like 10 inches. It's not
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it, but I saw somebody with a good take. It's like, meanwhile, you have sandwich places like Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's that have higher quality ingredients, and yet Subway ends up being the more expensive one.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because did you see that? I saw this. There's this TikTok guy doing a skit, and he was like, their foot long isn't a foot. Their $5 foot long isn't $5. Their tuna isn't considered tuna. You remember when that happened?
Oh, yeah.
Their tuna can't be considered tuna, and their bread can't be considered bread either. So nothing they have.
Well, who do they have to blame?
Also, kind of related, right, with their falling sales. I saw McDonald's is in huge trouble too.
Oh, really? Is it over the ban? I mean, not the bans, the fucking boycott.
That's a big deal, but like that's affecting them, so still support. But a big thing that they brought up was that McDonald's is mad expensive now for like kind of shitty food. So what's really taking their business is sit down like chains, so like Sizzler, Olive Garden, shit like that. Because the guy was saying like, so people are like, I'm gonna pay $20 for a shitty burger.
Well, when I can pay
$20 for like a way better burger and a little more food, and I get to sit down. So yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, dude, McDonald's got expensive. Well, because it used to be kind of the food of the not the cheap, but like people who didn't have that much money.
It was kind of like okay food, like consistently okay food for pretty cheap. Remember the sodas were $1 any size?
Yeah.
I wasn't a big McDonald's fan, but I know the mythos. Same like Anonymous.
You've heard the tales.
Yeah, I've heard I wasn't a big McDonald's fan.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's
but okay. Moving on from Subway. Did you guys hear about the Disney lawsuit?
Crazy.
No, what happened?
So, you could fill in the details.
Okay,
so
go ahead. You tell me from memory.
So there was this couple, right, and a woman they were at a Disney restaurant, and she informed the staff that she had an allergy to seafood, and the staff said, "There's no seafood here." That wasn't true, and they gave her seafood, and she had an allergic reaction, and she unfortunately passed away.
Damn,
so obviously,
she died?
Yeah.
So obviously, her widower, her husband, is suing Disney, and instead, Disney's not really trying to like defend themselves. They're saying they're trying to get the case dismissed because they're saying that, oh well, the couple, they had a Disney like pass, like the annual pass, and they subscribed to Disney Plus, and they're trying to say that. I think that they put like a caveat in a subscription to Disney Plus that says you can't ever sue us no matter what.
Damn.
So they're trying to say that you can't sue us because you have a Disney Plus account.
Damn.
Yeah, because you know the terms and services when you're like, yes, I agree.
That's crazy that they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently in it's like you can't sue Disney for wrongful death or something. something along those lines. And so because they had that, Disney's trying to use that argument to dismiss the case.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? They're not saying like nah, like we didn't do it. They're saying like nah, we can't.
We did it, but you guys can't sue us.
You just can't sue us, bro. Like,
That's
you bought the
crazy.
Disney. You signed the thing.
Yeah.
That's like evil, man.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a South Park episode.
Yeah.
I think South Park actually did like an episode about terms and conditions because nobody reads it.
Because companies do that. Oh yeah, with the Apple thing.
Yeah,
where they have him do the human centipede.
Yeah, he's basically like a slave.
Yeah, he didn't read the.
Yeah.
Companies do that all the time. Have you guys seen that one with the rat and Mountain Dew? I think it was Mountain Dew. No,
what was that?
So, wait till you hear this, man. So this is real. So this guy, he drank Mountain Dew and he said he found a dead rat in Mountain Dew, and so he just opened it. It was a can, so he opened it and he said there was a dead rat, and so he went to sue Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew. What they did was they conducted a test, so they got the serial number of the can that he opened, and it said it was made like a year before he had opened it, so it had been sitting for a year, and so they conducted a test, and they said it's impossible that there was a rat in there, because a rat would have dissolved in Mountain Dew, if it was a year. They said that it would only take like 3 weeks for a rat to dissolve. So if it had been a year since the can was made, and he drank it, and there was a dead rat, they said that's impossible because the rat would have dissolved. So I think they got the case dismissed off that.
Damn, really?
I think so. I forget
That's
I forget the
nasty.
ending, but
so it's possible that there's rats in there. And
they
I'm
were
drinking
saying there's no way, because he said he found a dead rat, like a physical rat, and they were saying there's no way it would have been sludge and you wouldn't have even known it was a rat because it would have been dissolved by the Mountain Dew. So that's how their evidence was. So they had scientists like, I guess, dissolve rats in like Mountain Dew to prove it or something like that.
Crazy, bro.
That's nasty.
I just think like the fact that Disney or these big companies would rather save a few bucks than actually just like own up to what they did.
Yeah,
it's kind of insane because people brought up that argument of like, not only would it have been cheaper, but probably would have been way better PR if they had just been like, we're sorry, here's some like money.
Here's a settlement, right?
Yeah, like instead they were like, no, you signed up.
Yeah, like no,
fuck you.
Yeah.
You signed that.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense when you have that much power and expensive lawyers. You can probably maybe win. People are saying that I'm probably not gonna win because the judge, they can't see a judge like siding with Disney with that one. But I still think the fact that they tried, they were like, why not? Why don't we just try?
You're saying Disney's not gonna win?
Probably not.
No, probably
that's
not.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I just think that's crazy to, I guess, even have that type of clause on there.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Like, Jesus, you guys are expecting wrongful deaths all the time.
Yeah, because someone says like, why wouldn't they do it? Like, when you really think about it, if it gets denied, they spent like just a drop in legal fees. But imagine if the judge grants the motion, then I guess they save money.
That's
so
crazy.
It makes sense why they would put in like, no, we're not gonna own up to your wife dying.
That's crazy.
But I just think that's so sad. Like his love, his lom, just died. Imagine.
But that is crazy that like she told them too.
Yeah,
like
she
genuinely expressed to them like, hey, I'm allergic to this, and then they said like, there's nothing there, and then it did.
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy that like she basically expressed herself, and they were like, no, like there's nothing to worry about, but yet they ended up like killing her.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's really crazy.
It's insane,
and that's sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think people will hold Disney accountable for this in the sense that you think people are gonna not watch Inside Out 3, Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5?
No, I feel like people are too very much like loyal to Disney, and I think a lot of us just very like, we grew up on Disney, so a lot of us still kind of hold them to this thing of like they're very just connected to our childhood, that a lot of people, it's just hard to kind of get away from that and like deny them. You know,
they just had that. What's that convention they have? That one where it's just all their stuff.
D23.
Yeah, they just announced like 6 new parks. The Avatar Land, fucking Monsters Inc. Land, all that shit. And everybody was eating it up. And fucking their movies and all that shit.
Well, I imagine, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, I wonder what Disney adults have to say about this.
They've done insane things that nothing ever. Remember? Do you guys remember? Rest in peace, this poor kid. Do you remember a few years ago in the Florida park, an alligator killed a kid? at their
No,
Florida
I
park?
don't. I
You
don't
remember
remember
that? It was
no.
huge news. There was a huge hunt for the alligator. Look at it. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I believe you. I believe
It was
you.
at the Florida park. The kid was like walking, and an alligator snatched him at the park. Yeah.
But they had alligators. Or it
I've
just,
never,
like, went
I've
in
never
there?
been. I've never really been at Disney. Even this one, I've never really been that guy. I think because it's Florida, there's a lot of swamp around the area.
Oh yeah.
So I think the alligator was in like a Disney area, and it got a kid, and he unfortunately died.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, so it goes deep. Did you apparently Disney doesn't own or operate the restaurant, but it has like the Disney name on it.
Oh.
Yeah, and so people are like, why didn't they use the argument of we don't own or operate the restaurant instead of being like, you can't sue us, you signed on to Disney Plus?
Yeah. Right.
That's just a weird.
I think it just goes to show
Decision.
that they just see all these people as money instead of like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I think everybody believes the whole like, oh, we care about you and making your dreams come true. When it's
Yeah.
more like we care about you giving us your money, bro.
Dude, that's so crazy. There is people defending Disney,
Yeah.
basically saying like, oh, they're not liable for the failure of the tenant, that Disney's like responsible for bringing so much joy, that it's not their fault that the failure of a person who told them that there was no like allergens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not their fault. Like you know, that guy, it's that guy's fault, not
Yeah.
Disney's fault. Thoughts?
That's crazy, man.
I don't know. I just think it's crazy because you said that Disney doesn't own the restaurant.
Yeah, it says that Disney doesn't own or operate it, but it has the Disney name.
Yeah.
But do they still like it? Is it still something like sort of under them? Like they don't,
Oh, it has to be under
I
them.
just
It's
right?
think
Because
their
it
name.
still has their name.
it's probably like the same way that franchising works, where you have the name of McDonald's,
it's
but
independently run.
you don't talk to Ronald. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
He doesn't give you
Yeah.
instructions.
No, but that is, you're right, bro. And like, it's crazy that they were just like, like, but he subscribed, so.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. They could have just been like, well, we don't operate that restaurant.
Yeah.
Instead, they were like, well, you signed on to Disney
I think
Plus.
it's like what you said earlier, or whatever this guy said earlier, where they were like, well, worst case scenario, best case scenario is they just get the case thrown out.
Yeah. Bro, yeah, this is such a good point. Regardless if it's Disney's fault or not, the fact that signing up for Disney Plus prevents you from a plausible wrongful death at a Disney property lawsuit is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, imagine like we went to fucking Disneyland and like, I don't know, Goofy fell on me and crushed my air pipe and
Yeah.
killed me. And then Disney's like, you got Disney Plus, dude. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, bro, Goofy
That's
killed
crazy.
me.
One of the trains at
Yeah.
Disneyland runs me over, and they're like,
Yeah. That's
"You can't sue
crazy.
us."
Where's the humanity, man?
That's so true. That's such a good point. Because, yeah, whether or not Disney owned and operated the restaurant, I just think that it's still fact that if you have a Disney Plus subscription, you can't sue them if you die at their parks.
Yeah.
What a weird clause. It makes me think what else is in these like clauses that nobody reads,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean that South Park episode did good for a reason, because I'm sure people thought, but I mean this is proof that there actually is weird shit in there.
Yeah.
I wonder what other weird shit is in there. We gotta get a lawyer and do a whole segment on.
Yeah.
Because what if Subway has like you can't
We should probably get rid of their frog. They're probably gonna.
Kermit get rid of it.
Yeah.
Julie, go ahead,
It's
throw
not
him.
even real. Well, it's not like an actual.
It's
like,
in his.
Oh, it's not a
likeness, right?
Disney. Oh,
It's
it's
in his
it's not
likeness,
owned
right?
or operated by a
No.
Disney.
I think we could have the other ones. We could have like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey, but not their. I think not their one, because I think they're public domain now.
Yeah. Disney didn't serve the food. Look, you want to hear a guy defending Disney? Disney didn't serve the food. From the article, they do not operate the business. They just own the property, and that the restaurant is located at. Does that make them liable for the restaurant's failures?
So
they
they
didn't
do
serve
own-
it. They just own it. The fuck.
So they
What are you
do own
talking
the
about?
property then, like where it's operated.
I'm saying it's like franchising. They probably own.
But that's such a dumb like point. They didn't serve it. They just own it. Well, no fucking shit. Why?
Like,
Of course they're gonna hire fucking chefs, man. You think fucking the CEO of Disney's gonna cook it for him?
I just think it's
fucking
weird.
moron.
It's weird when people defend like big corporations and like
Like they care.
rich people,
Yeah.
like as if they care about you. They literally have a clause that if you die on their property,
can't sue
you can
them.
go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's weird.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like above, like they're like, guys, let's like.
Yeah.
They didn't even own it. Like
Yeah.
above that, you're like, why are you defending a random fucking $1 billion corporation that just said it doesn't give a fuck about you if you die on their parks, even if
Yeah.
it's their fault?
Exactly.
Like, I just think that in of itself, like, it doesn't invalidate the argument because I'm not directly going against the argument. I just think that's weird behavior.
Yeah, I agree.
The husband is suing both the restaurant and Disney. His theory for suing Disney is that it has control over the restaurants and policies at Disney Springs. And ultimately, I wouldn't feel bad for Disney here. They likely have a clause in their leasing contract with the restaurant that says the restaurant must indemnity them, pay Disney back for any legal claims that arise from the lease. Yeah, it's like franchising. So they don't get a stake in
So
McDonald's.
they literally, even if so like how that clause says, so even if they lost the lawsuit, Disney would get the money back from the restaurant.
Wait, say again.
They have a clause saying that even if they lost the lawsuit, they would get the money back from the restaurant.
I think so.
So then, what's the fucking big deal with them? Why do they care?
I don't know. Yeah, just everybody has such a good point.
How much is that company worth?
Disney?
Yeah, how much is it worth? Can you
Let me
Google
see.
it?
How? Dude, it's probably like $1 billion easily. How much is
Probably more.
Disney?
I just feel like it's weird that people say that it's not Disney's fault, but it's like it's still part of your, property.
Jesus Christ.
But they don't. I guess they don't run it, right?
But it's still their
1.16.
property,
No, it's not 1 point. It's $161 billion.
161. And you know how much the guy was suing them for?
How much?
I don't know if we mentioned it.
Oh.
$50K.
How much? What
Yeah.
percent? That's not even. That probably doesn't even register as a percent. It's probably
And Disney was like, we're not paying that shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
$50K, and they have $161 billion.
Google that.
What? How much is the percentage worth?
Yeah, what's a percentage? What's 50% of? I don't think you could do it on a calculator.
Wait, what's 50% of what?
50%. No. What's how much? What percentage is 50K of
Of 1.6
yeah,
million? I
what
think we could do it on here.
You
Just
could probably do
Google
it on ChatGPT.
Hey, you said 50K
Yeah.
divided by 161 0. That's 3. One more. 3. It's it's 0.0003%.
That's fucking insane.
It's wait, let me get that right. 0.00003%.
So rounded to a whole number, it's 0.
It's 0. It's closer to 0 than it is to 1.
And then they're like, fuck no.
And they were like, "What the fuck? Go kill yourself."
Stingy as fuck.
I know, that's insane.
What makes me sad is the people who defend Disney, because they're like, actually, they don't own and operate it. Okay, like they
It
still
has their name.
they still have a clause that says that if they die at the park, you can't sue them because you have a Disney subscription. I just think that in and of itself is insane. Like the fact that they can have a clause like that, they could just manipulate people like that. And people are like, that's because, dude, we should have read it. Like, we should have seen that.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that that's such like an ass pull. Like, you can't. It's as if I was like, bro, I'll give you $5, just sign this, and you signed it, and I was like, bro, I have your card now. So I'm not. Oh, bro, you should have read it. I mean, it's true, you should have read it, but that's such a fucking asshole move. You're my friend.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be promoting like family and kids, and here everybody can have their dream come true.
Yeah.
But don't die, because then you're not getting anything from us.
That's crazy, man.
I thought Disney was all for this family environment, and you're telling me that if it goes wrong, it was like you're not family anymore.
That's crazy, man.
I thought we were family here. I thought you could at least make my sorrows feel a little bit better. No, bro, go kill yourself. Literally die on my parks. Like, well, if anything, we'll sue you.
I know, right? That's insane, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That's fucking insane. I think that in and of itself is fucking insane.
Anyways.
What is next? Ride or die?
Yeah.
Julie, you said not to discuss it.
So, how ride or die are you guys for your significant other?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In 1985, a woman spent months getting her helicopter license just to rent a helicopter, fly it over a prison, and break out her husband.
Damn, that's real.
Mm-hmm. So, a convicted bank robber, he was 34, and his wife, who was 35, executed a daring helicopter escape from prison de la Santi in 1985. So the wife, who had been taking helicopter lessons for months, rented the helicopter and flew it over the prison. And then the couple landed at a nearby soccer field and fled. Likely with a waiting car. The husband served was serving an 18-year sentence and had history of escapes and numerous convictions.
Damn. They matched each other's freak.
Mm-hmm.
I like
That's
that.
what I'm talking about. That's true love right there.
Yeah. Wait, what was he convicted of first?
Bank robber.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
a
Yeah,
bank
then
robber.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You were like, if he's a murderer.
if it was something wild, I would have been like,
He's an anti-hero.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
all for the people.
Would y'all do that?
Yeah.
If y'all had the capability of doing all
Did
that,
they get
would
away
y'all
with
do
it? Did they get away with it though?
It
Yeah,
doesn't-
right?
I think, yeah. I mean, they escaped, but I'm trying to see. I
Yeah,
was trying to find if they ever got caught again.
Because I'm like,
'Cause that- yeah, that's
they
what I
got
was
caught
wondering.
5 minutes later. I was like, well.
It's like, well, at least she tried.
The sentiment, the thought
The
was
sentiment
that
is there.
Yeah.
If
you
he
know?
wanted to, he would.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you wanted to,
Exactly.
you would.
Yeah, but the girl did it, right? She's the one who broke him
Yeah.
out.
So she's the one who spent months getting her helicopter license,
That's
and then
cool.
she rented the helicopter,
You heard that,
glided over the
fellas?
prison, and broke out her, her
If
husband.
she's not willing to do that, she's not the one.
If you heard that, fellas, if she's not willing to do that, she's not the one. Is she down for you like that?
So
Is
they never,
she?
They never caught them?
I don't know. I'll see if they ever caught
I hope
them,
they never
but
caught them. If that's the worst thing he did.
If she wanted to, she would. Go ahead, Julie. It would break. What match their freak? Match their
Mhm.
freak. What would you do for your man? Would you break him out of prison?
Yeah. We're escaping and we're moving to I don't know where.
It kind of.
I think the only place you can actually go is Russia, right? Nah, man.
Seek
It-
asylum.
If the because I think Russia's like the only place that gives you asylum from the United States.
Oh, really?
That's why Snowden.
China
is there.
doesn't do that.
I don't think China does. I don't know.
No?
Google it. I think Russia's the only one that has like the firepower to like
This, bro, we're gonna be put on a list. I'm gonna look up countries you could seek asylum in from the United States.
Yeah, they were captured a few months later.
Oh
Yeah.
Damn, that's lame.
I know.
I don't think it's gonna give it to me. I don't think they want to. What countries accept an American who is seeking asylum?
It's Russia, right?
Oh wow! Look, Canada, Mexico, the UK, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Japan, South Korea, Australia, Basically, most countries would.
No, but
Some people, yeah, right.
but
Don't some of them?
But I think there's certain things that like won't they extradite you? Because I feel like Canada would extradite you.
Yeah. Apparently Cuba makes sense why Pac.
I think it's Cuba and like Russia. It's the ones that really hate us.
Uh-huh.
The ones that were like
So factually, these countries have actually granted asylum to Americans in the past, running from the U.S. Canada, Cuba, Switzerland, Costa Rica, Iceland, and Russia. Those are the ones who actually on paper did
So
it.
why don't they go to Canada?
And they probably didn't
I
think it
think
through.
I feel like Canada.
didn't
I
think
feel
it
like
through.
Canada. I don't know something about Canada. I feel like they would turn you over.
Wait, you said they got caught?
Yeah, they got
few
caught
months later.
a few months later.
Well, like you said, it's the sentiment.
It's the sentiment.
It's
Yeah.
just-
They should have taken that helicopter. Nah, they probably. I don't think they can do that actually.
Aw, did they at least get locked up together?
I
know.
doubt it.
No, they for sure didn't.
I doubt
Aw. Well, actually, I don't know. They could be terrible people. You never know. I don't know if I should.
it. I think they were both like criminals though.
They're both just bank robbers though.
Yeah.
Damn, they thought they
I
were
feel
Bonnie and
like-
Clyde.
I feel like bank robber is a cool crime. I'm not
You think
advocating
so?
you do that, but I don't think. I wouldn't think like if you're not killing people like like in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bank. I feel like you're stealing.
There could be
insured-
worse crimes.
You're stealing insured money. I kind of fuck with that. It's not. You're not stealing it from me.
Fight the establishment.
You know. There's certain crimes that I think are cool.
Mhm.
You know?
Julie, was that romantic for you?
I thought that was kind of cute. Bruh, it's the fact that she was committed to getting her fucking license. I don't know how long that takes.
I know.
but
right?
I'm just like the fact that she was committed to like getting her
And
license.
she got a chopper.
And then she rented a fucking helicopter. I wonder how much that was. I mean, this was in 1985, but I'm just like
Wow.
that shit was still
Damn,
like
that's
probably
cool.
expensive.
They should make a movie out of that.
I know, right?
But in the end, they get away. They have to get away.
Go ahead, Julie. Say it.
And
When a
then-
woman loves,
When a woman loves, she'll get you out of prison.
when a woman loves, she loves hard.
You got to give him the real. You got to give him the.
Yeah, you gotta
beginning.
give me the-
What is it? So what should I say?
When a woman loves, she loves hard.
When a woman loves, she loves hard.
Okay, now what's the ending? What's the ending? Or was that the ending?
That was the ending.
You guys
That's
are
how
watching
go.
a live like
a live.
No,
I'm editing.
direct the reel like right now.
when me and Brandon took film school, I remember that's what they would
Never edit in-
That's what they would say. I'm editing already in my mind.
But didn't they
as
tell
I'm
us?
shooting.
Didn't they tell us not to do that?
No. That's never say I'll do it in post.
No, but remember they also said never try to edit while you're shooting.
You see, there's different.
Yeah.
People.
No,
people,
that's go ahead, bro. Director.
you were about to say his name. Huh?
Do you need a reshoot?
I know what else do you need.
Do you need a reshoot?
What are the lines?
So tell me more things.
You better use this one though.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me more romantic.
Give her a script.
Lines.
Give her a script. Director, like actually. Director.
Say.
I already gave you the ride or die.
Okay.
You don't be like, how ride or die are you?
How ride or die are you?
Well, give me another take.
Say like that's why I love your woman right, because then she'll treat you right. I don't know, something like that. Something along those lines.
Where's the passion, bro?
This one doesn't work. It's because it's from the woman perspective. I can never feel what the woman perspective feels.
If she wanted to, she would.
She's just copying me.
That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Give us one more take for safety.
Another one?
Yeah, well, that
but
one.
Same
put
one?
a little bit of tears in there.
Yeah.
Water.
Tears?
Yeah, like really get emotional about this one.
Just be like, if she wanted to, she would.
If she wanted to, she would.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Cut.
That better be the real. That
better be the real. All right. Let's see. Next topic. Julie, go ahead. Tell us about this one.
Well, Brandon brought it up. Blake
Well,
Lively.
I feel like you're better to talk about it.
This is our final topic.
But what do you know
so
about
from
it?
what I know, Blake Lively, the actress and wife of Ryan Reynolds, is in she's having her J-Lo moment, where a lot of people are finding her very unlikable because she's a part of a movie which is called
It Ends With Us.
And I think the movie is about domestic violence. And it's from a book, and the book is about domestic violence and kind of escaping that, right? But I believe she's marketing it as like a kind of like a fun girls' night out.
Yeah.
And it kind of romanticizes it a bit. I think there's like this clip of her being like, come on, guys, get your florals, get your girls, come see this movie. Kind of like making it seem like it's a fun thing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And there's also another controversy because I think her co-star in the movie is also the director. And I believe that if you look at the board, what do you call it? Where they take pictures and press and all that stuff?
Yeah, like a press
like
circuit.
the premiere?
Yeah, whatever it is. He's never like in the pictures. It's usually Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. So people are saying it almost feels like it's Deadpool Wolverine X. Like they're trying to get that.
They're basically trying to do like Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
So, and it's because it's like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and they're like the big, like perfect popular couple that that supposedly Blake Lively is trying to make it into kind of like a Barbenheimer where it's like Deadpool and Wolverine X. It ends with us kind of.
Yeah. And I think too that supposedly there's beef between her and the director. And basically the director's kind of been ousted because nobody follows him. He's never in like any of the pictures. Like it's always just the Wolverine cast and he's just kind of separate. And apparently, I don't know if this is true. I saw yesterday, like last night, that supposedly the beef started with, I guess, two things. There's like a scene where they kiss and Blake Lively felt that he kissed her for too long. And there's also a scene where he lifts her up.
I've heard about that one.
And he asked, oh, is there anything I can do to strengthen my back? And she took that as like a fat shaming thing. Like he was calling her fat. But apparently people were saying he has a history of back problems.
Yeah, I heard that.
So that's, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how true the like drama part of it is.
I think that's true. I've read, I mean, I'll fact check it right now, but the only thing I didn't know there were the other stuff. The only thing I'd heard about was the beef between her and her director, that she said that he fat shamed her, and that the direct quote was that he actually does have like a history of back problems, so he just wanted to know how to protect himself.
He said yeah, so they were saying that he has a history of back problems, and he asked his on-set trainer that like how much she weighed, and he asked like what would be, I think he asked how much she weighed because like he recently had like a back injury, and so he didn't want to hurt himself, which is why he asked his trainer how much she weighed to avoid injuring his back when he picked her up. And I think they were saying that she took it as like he was fat shaming her. And then like the whole kiss was that like it made her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I also heard, I can't find it here because it's such a huge article. I guess it's just coming out. I heard that she undermined the director and brought on the guy
Yeah.
who edited Deadpool and Wolverine to make a new cut of the movie. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I also saw that she had, because I think the director wrote it with her, or something like that. But she had Ryan Reynolds rewrite a lot of it.
I heard
or
that.
like he wrote a bunch of scenes in it.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
I heard he only wrote one scene.
Yeah, but I
which
don't
is
know.
like the
Oh,
intro
I think
of the movie.
I think what it was is that he wrote it during the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like she had I think the writer was on strike.
Mm.
If I might be wrong, but and that's when Ryan Reynolds
I heard
stepped
that
in
one
and,
too.
and wrote it.
I heard
Wrote certain
that
scenes.
that it was written when like the whole writer strike was happening, and people were saying that that's very like offensive because it's like, you know, they're like the Reynolds and they're very rich, so it's like the fact that they did that during the strike is even more a slap to the face to the people who were trying to like do all the strike and all that.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot. Like they're both getting a lot because like
It's kind of like when The Rock. Do you remember people accused him of trying to take over the DC universe?
Yeah.
Because he first released that promo of like the dynamic of the DC universe is about to change.
Yeah.
Because he tried to basically force himself to be an important character and be the face of the DC.
Well, because I remember when he did that too. Because I think the character he plays, Black Adam, we watched it, right? He's the villain in the comic books of Shazam. And they wanted to have him be in Shazam, but he said that's Little League. So he forced it to be Henry Cavill. Like he wanted to be Superman's villain, which doesn't really happen. Which also sucked because I think he forced his hand to get Henry Cavill as a cameo in his movie, even though they were about to fire Henry Cavill anyways. So he kind of hyped people up to see it, even though he probably knew that wasn't what was going to happen. They were telling him, like, nah. Like,
it was just to get people to see the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says right here, yeah. What was it? Lively spoke not only about Reynolds tinkering with the script, but shots in the film as well. And even brought in Deadpool and Wolverine editor Shane Reed to help cut the movie. So it's basically saying that they took over the movie. It became the Reynolds movie.
I think just overall has a lot of bad press because it's not. I think for the most part, the biggest one is they're romanticizing domestic violence, kind of.
Yeah.
And also they kind of.
Well, because a lot of people, at least on like my side of TikTok, is that like the way that they sort of promoted it is that it's kind of like a I think they're saying that she's promoting it as a rom-com.
Yeah.
And because like I guess in the trailer, you don't, like when you see it, you kind of don't see it as a movie being kind of about domestic violence. If you haven't read the book, that's what some people are saying. Some people are saying that like if you have never read the book, but you see the movie or the trailer, it looks like it is like just a romance movie about a girl who's like, you know, opening her flower shop. She's in like this love triangle, right? And so what people kind of have been struggling with it is that when they go in there and they see that it's about domestic violence, for some people it's very triggering because they didn't know that it was about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And then now people are saying that like, because now that they're aware that it's about domestic violence, it just sounds very twisted the way she's promoting it.
Yeah.
Because they're very like the fact that she says like grab your friends, grab your girlies, like wear your florals and like come see this movie. But it's like it's not, because a lot of people are like, domestic violence isn't something to be lighthearted about. You know, like it's not something
deaf.
to be like super like, you know, cutesy and all these things. Like that's not what it's about. And the fact that like the director, what's his name, Justin Baldoni, like he's very more like advocating about domestic violence. So his press tour for the movie is mostly advocating for domestic violence, and then Blake Lively's press tour is making it like
it's a fun rom-com.
It's a fun rom-com. It's like this whole thing. And she doesn't, when they ask her about domestic violence, like there's this interviewer that's like, oh, like what are you gonna do, or how do you go about if fans, you know, approach you, because this is a very like heavy subject. This is just me like paraphrasing like basically what he's saying. But he basically asked her like, oh, how are you going to treat like fans who ask you like different types of questions about like, you know, this film. And then she makes a joke saying like, oh, like or is it that they're gonna ask me like for my address, like for my phone number, like or do I send them like my location, like what is it that they want? And then like she completely like avoids like the question. And so a lot of like her interviews have been like when she asks, she'll say like, oh, like the character, like she's more than like a victim or a survivor, like she's more than this and that. But she doesn't really, I guess, is super outspoken or gives resources. Not until recently that people said that she finally posted resources for domestic violence.
Well, because people called
like,
her out.
Because people called her out. But the director has always, he even said that like on set, he really he brought in this organization that's about domestic violence. I forgot what they're called. But he brought in this like this organization that's about domestic violence because he genuinely wanted to get it properly right of like victims and like how, because he plays the bad guy. Like he's the guy, and this is just to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but he's the guy he's the abuser. Like he's the one who beats up like his girl. And so for him, he was like, I wanted to get it right. Like I wanted to. And for him, he talks about how this was a passion project to bring awareness of like, domestic violence. But because of like, like she's the producer and all these things. And I think she even has a really great relationship with the author that people are saying that
she kind of
hijacked like his directing, because they asked him if he's going to do the second movie. Yeah. Cause it's like a series, I guess. And he said that no, that he thinks like Blake Lively, it's probably her time to direct.
Oh yeah.
So people were saying that he was slightly shading her and saying that he thinks that there's somebody else who could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and this was his debut as a director. Like this was his first time directing. He's been an actor. Like he came out in like Jane the Virgin. At least that's where I know him from. And he's come out in like other stuff. And I think he also has like a podcast. But this was like his director like debut. And for him, he has strongly been on his like touring and stuff and saying like, bringing more awareness about domestic violence. Like I think there's an interview where he's like, I want people to watch this movie so that when they see it, they don't keep asking like, oh, why does she stay? He's like, I want people to be like, why do men harm women?
Oh, wow.
And so he's very like
an advocate.
Like an advocate about it. And I want to go see it mostly because, I mean, of course, of all the drama.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it because of like just like the whole drama. I also do kind of, I guess, like him from like Jane the Virgin. So I kind of want to go see it, but I also wanted to see what it was about because I never read the book. I don't know anything about the book. I don't know like anything at all about it. But because of TikTok, I knew it was about domestic violence. So I want to go see it, and I feel like there are for sure scenes where they're very intense. Like if you were for sure a person who's a survivor of domestic violence, it is very triggering. Like there's just I feel like they did good. Like their acting was pretty good in some scenes, and like just some things of like, because it does kind of talk about like generational like trauma of like, living in domestic abuse. Like it shows that her mom was also in domestic abuse, and then she was also trying to avoid that, but she went into the cycle of like getting with somebody who did the same thing. And then it ends with us is because like she ends up having a kid and she ends up being like, I don't want to be with you. So she ends up like breaking the cycle because that's how it ends with, her and her daughter. Right. And I remember there were some parts where I wanted to like cry, but I think it's more because like as a woman, like I think domestic violence is something very, very serious that a lot of people don't take serious. And I think it is. And I've been seeing a lot of people who are like women who have lived through this and are speaking out about the way Blake Lively is like promoting this and how wrong and how like a slap to the face it is to people. Cause it's like, it's, I get it, but they're saying that like, she's very like disconnected from it. Yeah. Like, it's like she didn't do her research on like what it really means to be a survivor of domestic violence. And I think people are very much, and I see that because I think when I watch the videos, it just sounds like there's no passion. Like there's no real passion for people who went through domestic violence. Like there isn't, like it just seems like this generally was just something fun to her that she wanted to do. but there doesn't like there's not that like she's very disconnected. And I think it's very showing of like how high she is in Hollywood, that she's very disconnected. Like I get it that like, and it's great that like she's never experienced like, you know, being in a abusive relationship, but it's just like her like not doing whatever. I don't know if she ever did her research on it, but it's just very much like harming people who are and go through domestic violence, because it's not something to romanticize, you know?
If people already don't take domestic abuse seriously, the star of somebody who's in a domestic abuse movie not taking it seriously is just doubling down about how people feel like it's not important. All it does is harm that movement and advocates. I like this Vox article. It puts it really well. It says, wearing florals and rounding up the girlies to watch a woman get physically abused by her partner seems at best a strange missing of the point, and at worst extremely insensitive or out of touch with the subject of her own movie. Either Lively doesn't fully comprehend the subject of the movie she made, or she does and is capitalizing on it to sell her wares anyway.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's actually that bar. Fire.
I think that's just really insane. And for me, like I guess like the hard part is just like, you know, it's like it just seems like it's a man versus a woman, right? And here the woman is sort of in the wrong of the way she's promoting it. But I also am like, I'm not here to like attack her because she's a woman. Like, I don't want people to keep attacking her, you know, like it's already like women have enough of a struggle, but it's just like the way
she's accountability needs to be taken, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think she still needs to be held accountable for the things that she's doing. Because I think they're very much wrong. Like, I feel like no matter what it is, like if this is part of their strategy to market the movie, because I mean, it's still helping them. Like people are talking about it. Like people are talking about the movie. And I feel like it sometimes feels like this is sort of a market scheme, like for both sides. But I'm just like but I'm also just trying to understand why they're going in this route if it is a marketing scheme, you know?
It seems to me, this is just an assumption. I could be very wrong. I think she probably is a little bit tone deaf about it, but I believe she's trying to. I think for the director, it's a passion project, and to him, the most important part, and rightfully so, is properly and respectfully raising awareness about domestic abuse. But I think she's too high in Hollywood to kind of understand that. Yeah, I think she's more like, this needs to make money. Which is why I think she's just like, come see this movie. Like, it's fun. Like, you know, because, and especially since her husband's Deadpool. And what is it? It broke the record for like rated R. Yeah, rated R. I think she's trying to be like, let's sell this movie. And like that Vox thing, that Vox thing, at best, she's just being a little tone deaf and missing the mark as to what she's kind of doing right now. Yeah. Like, you know, maybe she's trying to raise awareness by getting people, but she's going about it really poorly, you know? So that's what I think's probably happening. I think she's just really trying to sell the movie. Yeah. But I think the way she's doing it is making her come across a little cold about the subject matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, maybe she doesn't think that if she's upfront and is like, oh, it's a really dark and you know, movie, then people aren't going to come see it, you know? But like you said, I think there should be passion in terms of like raising.
Dude, she's kind of, she made her own bed and now she has to lay in it. That's the important part, because I'm reading more in one of the interviews, a journalist who's clearly familiar with the movie's sensitive themes. They ask her like, oh, do you think some people might reach out to you to talk about like their own abuse? And Lively thought that the interviewer was joking. And so she jokingly dismissed the question and was like, I would never share my phone number with fans.
Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about, where like he asked her like, oh, like, you know, it's a heavy subject. Like, are people gonna come to you? A lot of people were saying like, oh, he basically asked her like, is this a safe space? And she said no.
Yeah, she said no, don't talk to me.
I think she's just probably then very disconnected.
Yeah, she's tone deaf.
Because it's like because at one point on TikTok, like I just kept seeing like all the videos. And every single video, when somebody asks her about domestic violence, like about the movie and the domestic violence situation, right, and the issues, and like and her character that she plays, she uses the same line in every single interview. Like she says the same thing about like, oh, like the character's name is Lily Bloom. She's like, Lily Bloom, you know, like she's not a victim. Like this isn't everything that she's about. Like I wanted to portray her being more than just, you know, a victim and a survivor of domestic violence. And in every single interview that she does, it's the same line. So I'm like, she very much like just practiced her lines and she knows what she's doing. And of course, like makes sense. Like every actor kind of does when they're getting interviewed. But when you see like other interviews, you can see how disconnected she is from it. Like how it's just very much it just seems like she has no compassion. It very much seems like she doesn't have like this like sympathy or like this like empathy for the people who have gone through domestic violence. And I think it's just very sad to see how like disconnected she is.
Yeah, and I don't know her personally, obviously, but it feels like I like what you were saying because I think I can see the correlation between she's looking at her husband who's in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's in this fun, gory, silly movie, slapstick. And I think that Ryan Reynolds has always talked about, I mean, Blake Lively is in Deadpool and Wolverine. She comes out in it. And I think she kind of wants to be the fun, silly girl. But the movie she's doing the subject on is very serious. And I think she kind of feels like, I don't want this to define me either. Like, I don't want to be known as the serious, like, you know, like super... Because I guess I relate to it a little bit because I know sometimes we talk about serious stuff and I'm like, but that's not all we are, right? Like we have fun, you know, today we were having fun. So I think it's kind of like a feeling of insecurity. Like I hope I'm not typecasted as like a serious actress because I'm just silly, but it doesn't come off as her trying to be fun. It comes off as her just being insensitive.
Yeah.
I think,
well, yeah, go ahead.
I think it's really more just she's trying to sell it. And I think that when you try to sell like when you're so focused on like selling, like it becomes like it becomes less about this is about raising awareness and it becomes more about this is a product. I'm selling a movie. I'm selling a product instead of what the director's trying to do is I'm raising awareness. And I think those two mentalities couldn't be further apart. I'm selling a product. I'm raising awareness.
Yeah.
And already that's like completely two different sides of the spectrum. But when it comes to something as serious as that's really tone deaf to be like, it's a product, man. Like it's a movie. Like, it's domestic violence. You know, that comes off really cold and really like I think disingenuous, you know?
Yeah. I think it's also just very harmful because, I mean, like, I don't mean to compare, but it's just like, she's Blake Lively. Like, she's huge compared to the director, right? Yeah. The director's coming up, you know, but, like, still, like Blake Lively and the fact that she's with Ryan Reynolds, right? He's huge right now, right? And it's just, like, to have somebody who's as huge as her, I guess, and to kind of not bring the awareness to the amount that the director's kind of doing is just very much harming people who have gone through domestic violence, you know? And I think that's just, like, really sad to kind of just see the way, like, it's gone about, you know, of this movie. Because I feel like it sort of has taken... I mean, the movie was, like, okay, but I just think that it's just taken away from, you know, the people's real stories of that have gone through domestic violence. Yeah. And I looked up the organization that he, like, has. It's called No More. That he's like promoting. It's like a organization that helps with like people who have gone through like domestic violence and sexual assault. But that's the company that he brought in to kind of like have more awareness for the film. So that's why people were saying that they want to see his cut because they were like they want to see how it more like went about because her cut is the one that came out.
Dude, yeah, because now that I didn't know what the movie was about and I didn't know that much about the subject matter before you guys educated me on it, and I think that's insane that they brought in. I mean, that doesn't mean that you have to be typecasted into one role, but they brought in the editor of Deadpool and Wolverine to edit this like domestic abuse awareness movie.
Because I'm like, is it because you wanted it to be more entertaining? Like, you know, like, is it because you wanted it to be cut like? You wanted it to be because it's like fun? Action. Like, did you want it to be like, you know, that's kind of weird. Yeah.
Well, because watching it at the same time, like the beginning was very like long. Like there was just a lot going on. Because I took my boyfriend. Yeah. And he was very like the beginning was very long, and he's like I had no idea what was going on, and then he's like eventually until things started to like more towards like the middle of the movie, that's when everything started happening with like the whole domestic violence part of it. And for me, when I was watching it, I felt like it is about domestic violence, but at the same time, there wasn't too much going on around that. Like it did seem like they were trying to create it more as a love story. So like it was really weirdly like made.
That's hard, dude.
Where it was like there is, and that's why I wanted to watch it, because I wanted to see like how intense it actually is. Yeah. And it is very much like in a way romanticized because it's a love story, and the beginning is all just a love story, and then it eventually talks about like it goes into like the whole violence, right? But I feel like they didn't showcase a lot, which I don't know how they would go about that. Like I also am like, I don't know how much is enough to put in about the violence and how much is not. Like I don't know that part, but I feel like there was still some parts missing to it to bring the awareness of it, which is why I was like, well, the way the director talks about it, it seems like there's a lot more. But when you watch it, there isn't that much about domestic violence. But again, that's because like who knows how much they completely cut out.
Yeah,
it's true.
But again, like I don't know how true everything really is. But I just think in the movie overall, there is a little like half and half of both, where it's like there's a romanticized part, and then there's a part where it sort of brings awareness, but there's some scenes of like the violence that don't make sense, and it's kind of like, okay, but it still does bring the stuff about like he's abusive and all these things, right?
Yeah.
So would you recommend the movie for people who haven't seen it?
I don't know, it's hard because it's like I would say if you maybe are somebody who has gone through it, I would say just be a little cautious.
For sure.
But to recommend it, I don't know, it's hard because it is very 50-50 for me, where it was like, I think it was good in some points. Like the beginning was for sure long. Like the beginning, like for sure was like, some of it was not necessary. And I feel like it was good if you want to see kind of like those, like, because it kept reminding me of like when you watch like another romance movie kind of thing, where but I think it is, because it's a sensitive subject, I don't know if I can fully recommend it. You know,
so I would say I'm getting a no.
Probably not. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, the drama kind of,
I feel bad because I don't know how. I mean, I also don't know.
Well, I mean, you said he has an organization. If anything, they probably do better just going straight to his organization than giving the money to the movie. Yeah. So I'm sure it's fine, but I haven't seen the movie, so I don't have the opinion for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about it.
That's so crazy, man.
Dude, that is crazy. It went deep. I had no idea. I had no idea, dude. I bet you a bunch of people don't actually know. Dude, Ryan Reynolds' wife is
well, he's getting in hot water too. Cause
really, what do you do?
Well, he's kind of like he's like involving himself a lot, and he rewrote like
he's like weirdly like involving himself a lot, like in the press, like in the press tours, like when they do like the interviews and stuff. He'll pop out and be like, "Oh, you interviewed my wife, so now I'm gonna interview you." And then it's still in a way promoting the movie. Oh yeah. But he's trying to make it very like funny.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that ironic?
If you watch like some of the press, it's really weird. You would genuinely think that he's almost in the movie. Yeah. Like, cause I'm telling you, the main actor and the director, he's never like with the main cast. Like they're always separate, and they showed that none of the actors or the cast follow him on Instagram.
Isn't that ironic? Because the movie's subject matter is about like, well, domestic abuse, and then the top star, not only is she not taking it seriously, she's being insensitive, but then she's making her man like be like, oh, he's just gonna come in here and like, and just manipulate his way into this movie.
That's why people are criticizing him, because he's like shoehorning himself in, which is why it goes back to the genuinely. If you look at the like press, you'd almost think that it's like a dual, like that this movie dropped on the same day as Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, like because Hugh Jackman was there. Like,
yeah,
I saw that. I saw the picture.
Yeah, he was at the premiere.
I saw the picture.
They're all there, and in that picture, I don't think the director's not there. Like,
yeah,
you would think he would be there, right? Yeah. Like the main actor, because it's the two main actors of that movie. You think the two main actors of this movie would be?
Not even the actor. She's not even with the actor. She's just with her mans.
Yeah. And then also the rewrite thing where he
I mean, I guess it's still developing as we speak. I guess we'll see where it is by the end of it. Yeah.
That's why for a while I was like, well, because I did want to talk about it today, but then I was like, I want to see more about the story, like, and what
As it
goes about
develops,
it.
yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
More could come out.
more
you
could
never
come
know.
out.
Yeah.
Like, they could say that the director was actually very, like, hard to work with
problematic.
and problematic. Like, there's just a lot that can probably come out, and which is why the cast doesn't talk to
Yeah,
him.
it's just a lot of drama.
But
in
I
general,
still
yeah.
just think, like, not being, like, an advocate or, like, speaking out on it or kind of just avoiding the questions of how heavy this subject is. I mean, I guess
the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of going. At least she's going in the wrong way about it. But I also am like, I don't know if their direction was that they wanted the man to be more outspoken of it than the woman, and like they just wanted to market it differently. But I just feel like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just getting really, really hurt about how she's not being outspoken about it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's on her, dude. I mean, I'll end it off on that. Like, I just think people make their own beds and then they gotta sleep in them, dude.
Yeah.
Because I get what you mean. Like, no hate to her, not trying to, because women always get randomly attacked. But
Yeah.
I think that there's also times where people need to be held accountable. And if you make a messy bed, bro, you're the one who gets to lay in it, and you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. Yeah, the rest maybe like the like you said, right? Maybe this is the way that the marketing chose to go about it. But the interviews, that's all her. All
Yeah.
that backlash that's all her. She's the one who made those actions.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'll probably end off the segment on. But that's cool though. I mean, I'm glad we're talking about it because it rights the wrongs of a lot of people who are in elite. I just think that I didn't expect it to be that deep, dude. I didn't expect it to be that fucking. Because I don't know. The movie promotion has been weird. I didn't see anything that kind of gave that away, especially because Blake Lively's like,
well, that's
always like,
that's,
Yeah.
the point, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you see there in Deadpool and Wolverine on there, you think, oh, shit, it's like a rom com.
yeah,
like,
dude,
like-
that's what I generally
like,
thought.
you know? So that proves the point, right?
I had no idea. Yeah, it's literally just Hugh Jackman running around with Blake Lively,
And
like,
they're all like, you know,
they're
like,
jumping,
Yeah.
they're pausing in midair.
yeah, like Hugh Jackman's there with his Wolverine claws. He's like,
Him and Ryan Reynolds are
Yeah,
like
like
doing
that.
the
Yeah.
boxing
yeah,
thing,
yeah, they're like-
and Blake Lively's like
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
shocked face.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rumors are that the reason the cast is very on the side of with Blake is because they're a little
There's a
more,
hot couple
they're,
right
the
Yeah,
now.
they're hot-
they're the popular ones.
and they're
yeah.
the popular ones. You know, they're producers. Like they
People
produce
say
movies.
Hollywood's weird,
Maybe
bro.
So
I
then
could
that's
be
why
in-
they're saying they can help them with their
Yeah,
careers.
he's in Disney. Maybe I can.
No,
be
for
in-
sure.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that's so self evident.
It's also weird. Do you know that comedian? What's his name? He had a show on Netflix. What's his name?
What does he look like? He had a show on Netflix.
His name is Hassan Minhaj.
I don't think I. Maybe
Well,
if I
don't-
saw his
yeah,
face.
maybe if
You
I
guys
saw his
know him?
face. Let me see.
Let me see.
So you guys can see him. Actually. But this guy's in it. This comedian.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. He
I think
kind
I've
of does
seen
the
him
political
around.
shows, right?
Yeah, he does a political show. He's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I know a little of him. Yeah, but before we go, we should give a quick shout out to our Patreons. No?
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess to end that off, right? Please be aware of that that's a problem and support the foundation. Hopefully, that's a good foundation. I assume so.
Yeah.
You know, but do your research, man. Like that's a serious thing. So show your support. But before I end off this episode, I obviously have to shout out our patrons. So shout out to Yoel, El Verdugo de Pasadena, Jada Chicano, Angel Zamaron, Eli Quintero, Sarah Taran H, Stephen Carvajal, Carla Corazon, and I am Potato Tots. Thank you so much for everybody who subscribes to our Patreon.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us. And if anybody out there watching ever wants to join the Patreon, our link is always in the description. We have a lot of great content on there. You can even get a hand on the wall, man, with all our wonderful guests. You can be a part of that. So go ahead and do that. But we really hope you guys were entertained and enjoyed this episode. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.